Hey y'all, welcome to Voices of the Body, the podcast. My name is Ashley Elaine, and I will be your guide as you build awareness of your body's voice. This episode will be all about you getting to know you. Yes. On our healing journey, as you release outdated versions of yourself, you kind of want to date yourself again and again and again, right? It's just like that relationship you're in. You keep dating each other, right? To just learn more and dive deeper. We will talk about the importance of getting to know yourself again, dating yourself, and just why. Like, why is this even important on your healing journey? So get your water, get your tea, get your coffee, whatever it is that you need, and let's get into it.
Soundstripe.
So we're going to do a self-love meditation. It's really working in the heart chakra. I was going to call it a heart chakra meditation, but it's not really just that. However, it's really bringing love to yourself. So it's technically heart chakra. It's reprogramming the brain, right, with affirmations and just putting yourself in the space of accepting that loving you is not selfish. So I want you to allow your body to find its preferred posture of comfort. Right? If you're driving, you're driving. So please be safe and still engage. Just allow your focus to come to your heart space. Okay. If you're not driving, you have the option here to bring your gaze down your nose or to completely close your eyes. And I'd like to offer you to bring both hands over your heart space. And while you're here, take a big breath in and release. Take one more big breath in and release. And one more time, big breath in and release. And I want you to allow the following affirmations to just take root in your heart. I am love. I am peace. I am healthy. I am divine. I am deserving of love. I am deserving of peace. I am abundant. I am worthy of my heart's desires. Choosing me is not an act of selfishness. It is a gift to my relationship with myself, my relationship with the divine, and those that are within my orbit. I am love. I am peace. I am healthy. I am divine. I am deserving of love. I am deserving of peace. I am abundant. I am worthy of my heart's desires. Choosing me is not an act of selfishness. It is a gift to my relationship with myself, my relationship with the divine, and those within my orbit. So just allow those words to vibrate throughout your body and really ask yourself, how does it feel hearing those words with I am in front of them? How does it feel to claim those words? And how does it feel to say them out loud? So you have the opportunity to replay the beginning of this episode for those affirmations, and repeat them as many times as you need to. I actually write out note cards. So for the last 4 or 5 years, I've written out note cards with affirmations on them, and quotes that just remind me of what I am deserving of, or just where I am in that space. And they have evolved. I currently have them around my apartment. So one is I am heaven on earth. I am deserving of safe love. I am deserving of my heart's desires. I am in love with my imperfections. I am creative. I have them all over the place. I am deserving of peace. I am peace. I am a healer, right? When we affirm ourselves, we continue to show love to ourselves. We continue to put ourselves in a space where we realign our body and our mind with what divinely is our nature, what divinely is available to us, what divinely is us, how we were created. We were created with love. We were created from love. So why aren't we loving ourselves and showing that reflection? So this episode is all about dating you, right? And there's a space where you have to be so vulnerable with yourself to be able to date you, right? And it's kind of outside of the realm of, oh, I'm going to get my hair done, I'm going to get my nails done, which those are all self-care practices. Those are your hygiene is very important. Taking care of yourself is important. I personally don't get my nails done anymore. I may get a pedicure somewhere in the year. Those aren't priorities for me. And I take care of myself, right? So when I'm talking about dating yourself, I'm coming from the space of you are in this space of really embarking on your healing journey, aka your awareness journey. You are understanding of some of the big T's and little T's that have taken place in your life that may have built a character for you that may not really be you. As you're on this healing journey and really in the trenches of building that awareness and understanding what doesn't belong to you, right? You're putting yourself now in a space where it's okay, well, who am I? If you're not asking yourself this question, that kind of sucks for you, because I asked myself that question a lot. At least a lot before I got to this space that I'm in right now, literally in this current moment. And who you are is not what your titles are and the hats that you wear, right? Who are you in your divine character? What is it that you enjoy that makes you you? Not what is it that you enjoyed with that last partner that treated you like straight up trash, or the one partner that kind of didn't really engage in asking you what you want to do or what you like to eat, but you kind of just fell into their patterns of what they eat and what they do and what they watch and all of that, right? What is it that you enjoy? Like, I can rattle off a list, and mind you, like, this has been like my dating me journey has been solid for like the last 4 or 5 years, maybe yeah, maybe a little longer than that, maybe like, yeah, maybe longer than that. I believe maybe before I even had my son. He's 9. So yeah, like I've always been in this space where I just like being by myself. Like I just like being by myself. I also was in a space where once I would get with somebody, once I was in a relationship, once I met somebody, I would drop everything about me and be fully immersed into that person, what they liked, what they didn't like, what they wanted, what they didn't want, what they needed, what they didn't need, everything about them, like completely washing my identity away and allowing that person's identity to be mine, like finding myself in other people, right? But I still liked being alone. I like to do things by myself. I've always been like that. I mentioned that in another episode. It didn't always start out that way, but eventually I was safe with me. I was safer with just me. So it become a me just wanting to be with me thing, right? So where my healing journey actually started with me dating myself and getting to know myself was after I had my son. I believe he may have been like 4 or 5 years old, and his dad and I were in a space where we were like ready, or shall I say, I trusted him enough to do every other weekend. He may have been younger than 4 or 5 years old. And I remember the first time he went away for the weekend with his dad, I didn't really know what to do with myself. I had no clue what to do. Like, I was just like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll get food and then I'll come back home and I'll just lay in the bed and watch Netflix and all like these shows all weekend. It was a start. I started somewhere, right? It then turned into, oh, I don't have to wait to do this on the weekends. I can take a PTO day from work and I can drop him off at daycare. Oh, I don't have to pick him up from daycare till 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, let me find a Groupon where I can go have a spa day. Like, I would take PTO day and drop my son off at daycare as early as I could and drive to North Jersey and go to King Spa Fitness. I'm not shouting them out because they're paying me. I'm just shouting them out because that's where I went. Like, it's my favorite spa, period. And once COVID hit, I was like, well, how is this going to work? Because I need to go to this magical place that lets me like emerge from one place to another, like all throughout the spa. So yeah, I need to figure this out. Um, but yeah, like that's where it started for me, and then it just kind of kept going from there. So as he kept going away for the weekends with his dad, I started just finding things to do by myself. There was a summer though where he actually like went out of the state with his dad for a week, and that's when it hit. That was the kicker for me, and I didn't know what to do. Like, I was happy that I had space by myself. I also was just like, this is a lot. Like, my son has never been away from me for this long and out the state without me. Like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. And in that weekend, I spent time with two of my coworkers at the time. We went out to get food and drinks and stuff. And um, that week, I just did a vision board. I started like creating a vision for myself. And I still have that vision board to this day. I see it manifesting into what it needs to be, right? So, me learning how to date myself, and now it like dating myself has evolved. It has evolved from me sitting in the house and having a movie night with myself to me getting all the way dressed up and going to sit at a restaurant, my favorite restaurant, by myself with a book to read and a glass of wine and whatever I want to eat. Like, no interference at all. I get to look as cute as I want. I get to look how dolled up I want. I get to go wherever it is I want to eat. I'll go to the movies by myself. Like, I do stuff by myself. And somebody just recently asked me, how do I feel going out to dinner by myself? I was like, I feel great. Like, I feel amazing. She was like, people don't look at you crazy. I was like, if they do, I don't pay attention to it because I'm not there for them. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to get dressed up and go to dinner by myself and enjoy my own company. I completely enjoy my own company. Dating you will show you where your insecurities are. Like, if you are choosing not to go to a restaurant by yourself on Valentine's Day, your insecurities are popping up. I have been out to eat on Valentine's Day by myself. I have been out to eat like a whole live band concert thing on my birthday by myself. Like, I buy flowers for myself. I spoil myself. I spoil myself and I love it. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Like, my grandmother is the one that taught me to buy flowers for myself. You know, it was the whole thing that you work hard. Why wouldn't you buy something for yourself? So outside, like, I literally buy myself whatever I want. I still buy myself my son whatever he wants. Like, I'm so in love with who I am and I'm so comfortable with who I am that there's that space of, am I alone or am I lonely? Like, I didn't sit in that space long at all. I didn't sit there long at all. And I think that's why most people don't date themselves, is because they feel lonely. Like, people want people to fill a void that they're not willing to look at for themselves. That is the most unhealthiest thing ever on this earth. Like, you are using somebody to fulfill something that you could easily fulfill within yourself. It will take less pressure off. It will cost you less money. It might if you like go to therapy for a really long time and don't have, I mean, depending on your insurance. But it's a waste of time. You'll get aggravated with people. You're with people that you don't even really like. You're just using them to fill a void within yourself. Why? Why would we do such a thing? So, yeah, like, I'm grateful that I've had these spaces where I've realized that the relationships that I've been in that were not serving me, they were never because I didn't love myself enough. They were because I saw potential in how this person could love me the way that I love me. And let me tell you, nobody is going to love me the way that I love me. I believe it's possible, right? I'm not doubting that that's not possible. Um, I just know that I love me to this extent of like like someone else bringing me flowers is not going to do anything for me now because I literally buy flowers every single month. I haven't the last few months because of traveling and not being home to really take care of them. Like I just picked up my plants for my grandmother because she was plant sitting for me. But I buy flowers for myself every month, and I buy them for 2 to 3 spaces within my apartment, within my space. So you can't come to my door with just flowers. Like, son, we're gonna have to you gotta level this up. Um, so I want to share 3 things that dating yourself brings you, right? And there are 3 things that I've learned within myself in my dating myself process. Like it's not even a process now, it's just something that I enjoy doing. Like I look forward to planning date nights with myself. Like I'm always looking for something to do. Maybe like a museum. Like I went to New York when they still have it there, but I went by myself to I'm gonna chop his name up. Basquiat. His family kept his estate, and it was amazing. Like I also know that I'm very picky about who I spend my time with. Like nowadays, I'm very picky about who I spend my time with. So me going to New York for this Basquiat estate thing, like it was a art museum basically of his whole entire life. It was the dopest thing ever. I'd rather do that by myself because I'll sit here and think about who could I do this with, who could I invite, and there's nobody that comes to mind that says, "Oh, you're gonna have a good time with this person." So I'm gonna have a good time by myself and take my time staring at all these paintings for 18 hours, and then go treat myself to flowers and like a cute dinner and whatever it is that I want. Um, yeah, dating myself, I've taken myself to the park, laid out a blanket, and either did yoga or journaled or just laid there under the tree and read a book. Like, just things that I enjoy doing that make me who I am, right? I get to see my quirks. I get to see my interests. Like I get to just people watch and see, like I get to do things that every day puts me in a position to learn more about myself, right? Because we can't always want to learn about everybody else and then not understand why they're what they're mirroring to us, right? And it's not just about learning all these fun, cute, and fluffy rainbow and unicorn things about you, right? Because those things are cute. It's also learning what your triggers are, what's bringing up the anxiety. Um, how safe do you feel? How safe do you not feel? Right? What is it that you need, and what is it that you desire, right? Because I believe that our needs, our wants and needs are never in 2 different places, right? If I want to feel safe with my partner, I also need to know that they will protect me, right? I need to feel protection from them when we're out in the world. I also need to feel safe with them when we're home in our own world. Um, yeah, so the 3 things that I wanted to dive into when it comes to dating yourself is number one, the relearning you, right? When you're in this heavy space of like just really diving into like being intentional. Let me make that word clear. Being intentional. Do nothing without intention. Being intentional about looking at yourself, because it's not always everybody did something to you. It's not always everybody did to you. Like we're all mirror reflections of each other. So you attract what you put out. You attract what you're willing to not look at within yourself. Um, when you're in the stage of relearning you, like you, it's almost like constantly taking off clothes and putting on new ones, right? As you're healing, you're taking off layers. Your eyes should be opening to things that don't even feel right anymore, right? Tapping into that third eye. There's like you're pulling the strings out of the veil that is covering your light. So every time you have a triggered moment and you work yourself through that moment, or every time you're in a therapy session and certain things come up that allow you to say, huh, I didn't think about that, or oh, I just realized that I do this, that, and the third. Oh, I am a people pleaser. Like all these different things, you're taking off clothes, right? You're not going to take those clothes off and just leave them off, right? Like if we could all run around naked, that would be cool. Maybe, maybe not. So I always say, when I work with kids, or when I was working doing BA work, you never want to take away a behavior and not replace it with something else, right? So as you're taking off these layers of you that don't belong to you, or that you've been operating in for so long, and it's time for you to make adjustments and changes, you have to put on clothes that actually fit you. You have to put on what is actually meant for you, right? And when you do that, the only way you're able to do that is if you spend time with yourself to say, well, that doesn't fit me anymore. What actually does fit? Right? Because you kind of leave yourself just out here if you're like, oh, well, I'm going to take off all these layers that my trauma has left me with, right? And now you leave yourself susceptible for, oh, well, maybe what this person is doing is for me. So maybe let me try what they're doing, instead of like actually sitting with yourself in the uncomfortable and allowing yourself to say, okay, I'm stripping these layers off. What is truly within me that I can bring forth to put on and wear that, right? So within dating myself consistently, and then as it evolved to me going from just going to the movies 3 times a week, because I had that really dope AMC membership where you can go to the movies 3 times a week and watch whatever you want. I also, like, it started to evolving in, oh, like, I'm gonna get dressed up and dolled up and make this like a whole night for myself, right? I learned how much confidence I actually have. Like, I learned how boss I actually am. Like, I don't care what anybody else has to say about me wanting to spend time with myself. Like, I don't care if there's mad couples, like, and that's happened to me before. I've been out before where it's like mad couples all over the place, and I'm just like, oh, this is cool. Like, can I be honest? Did it bother me? Yeah, a little bit, because I still, like, that's still my heart's desire, right? Both, and I know that this moment of me dating myself is gonna be what continues to push me forward to getting to my divine partner, right? So I kept relearning myself. I kept finding all these clothes, right? Because I was stripping all these other things off of me, and was able to find these clothes that actually fit me. Clothed in confidence, right? Clothed in freedom. My God, like just freedom within itself, clothed in peace, clothed in creativity, right? I was able to be free in like my creativity, right? Because I would allow myself to, like, I like to see in color. Like when I create stuff, I just like to see color, for crying out loud. Like I need color. Like I was a big black and white picture person. I need color. But relearning you is what is going to allow you to move into my next point. How you treat yourself is how you treat others. So as you're relearning yourself, there is that space where you can say, oh man, I treated so and so like trash. Because again, not everybody is doing stuff to you. If you're the common denominator, maybe you should look at you. I had to have that moment. Like there's some friendships where I was like, no, yeah, I treated that person like straight trash. They may have deserved it, they may have not. That's not the point. I treated X, Y, and Z like trash, right? In that relearning phase, when you get vulnerable with yourself, when you get real with yourself, when you allow yourself to really look at you and take ownership and accountability for your behaviors, right? You'll start to see that the way you treat others is a reflection of how you treat yourself, what you think about yourself, what you mean to you, right? And so many like words and spaces. I'm a giver. Like I'm a giver. It doesn't seem like it because I brought no souvenirs for nobody but my son and myself on these last 2 trips, but that's not the point. Like I want to see everybody win. So if I can give everybody $1 and that guarantees them to win without it being about me, I will do that. Like I want to just see everybody win, right? It is not my job to make sure everybody wins. And I've had to learn that the hard way. Like my money is how I know I am not where I need to be with certain people, especially romantic relationships, because I will give and give and give and give and give because I want to see you win. I want to see you thrive. I want to make sure you have everything that you need, right? But I don't get it in return. My well becomes empty because I'm giving, but my well doesn't get refueled. It doesn't get so in so many spaces, right? Like I'm allowing somebody to take full advantage of me without acknowledging that they're taking full advantage of me. Like I'm allowing the giver in me to give so much that I forget to give to myself. And literally within the last like almost year, I've had to relearn, oh, I can date myself. Oh, I know how to do this. Oh, why did I feel like I didn't know how to do this? Like even in a relationship, I need my person to allow me to go to the movies by myself. Like I need my person to be that confident that when I say I'm going to the movies, I just want to like go to the movies by myself. That person is like, all right, cool. I'll see you when you get back. I'll have dinner ready. Whatever it is, right? Or I'll meet you at so and so for dinner afterwards. Like that's the type of dating me I need, right? And that's biblical, right? It's love yourself, love your neighbors as you love yourself. So you are like everybody is we're all mirror images of each other, and how I treat other people is a mere reflection of how I treat myself. Now I will say in those spaces where I'm giving, I know how to give to myself, yet in those moments where I'm giving, I'm not giving to myself. And eventually I get to a spot where I'm like, there was a time where I was able to like just buy whatever I want for myself. And how come that time has like gone away? Is this how this is supposed to go? Like am I supposed to be depleted? Like is this supposed oh this is how okay, got it. This is how relationships are. No. And friendship and relationship, no. You treat people how you want to be treated. You treat others the way you treat yourself. I give to myself and I give to others. It's the part where I don't get that in return. So there's a freedom. I'm about to help y'all. There's a freedom in knowing that you are doing right by giving to others, right? You are not responsible for the fact that this other person is taking and not being able to give to you, right? So mind-blowing moment, and I think I kind of just had it as I'm talking this out with you guys. But I've come to a very like healthy and mature space where I still accept and don't regret anything that I've ever gave to anybody, no matter how they've treated me, no matter how much they didn't do for me, no matter how much they've hurt me, no, like none of that. Because what I've done was from the pureness of my heart. I purely love myself to the point where out of the goodness of my heart, I give to myself. So if I'm giving to myself, why would I not give to someone else and allow it to be from, like, there's never a regret that I have of pouring into other people, whether it's financially, whether it's spiritually, whether it's emotionally, whether it's physically, whatever it is, and not getting anything in return. And I don't even want to say getting something matched in return, right? Because there's a space where as we are growing and healing, like we're realizing that not all of us are on the same page about everything. Not all of us are on the same wavelength. And that's part of why you date yourself also, because you start to see how dope you are. It's like, oh, I only need this kind of energy around me. I only need these kind of people around me, right? Like you start building a deeper awareness of your divine self and want like-minded individuals around you and like-minded souls around you and like-minded conversations around you, right? I am not a small talker. So anybody that is a small talker, where there's nothing that we have to talk about, like at all. Like I'm not, small talk is not in my nature at all. I love the in-depth, deep, long conversation that leads from one topic to another, to another, to another, like, cause that's me. Like that's me. Like I get to continue to see how my brain functions, and I love to share my thoughts and ideas with people who are like-minded, because I don't have to question if they're interested in what I'm saying, right? I know me. I know me. So going into the third reason why dating yourself is important, you set some expectations, right? So the expectation is like you set a bar for how people treat you, right? And what you are willing to allow. When you know you start dating you and giving yourself the things that you want and desire, you start to really set the bar for what anybody else that comes in your life does. right? So there's people that I can laugh with all day. I can also laugh by myself. Anybody else that comes into my life and wants to be mean and angry all the time, I am not your person. Like, I want to laugh. Damn it. Like, we're not going to sit here and be mean and angry all the time, every single day for no reason. Life is not that bad. Excuse me. Um so the bar is set. Again, like I said before, I buy myself flowers. Nobody's gonna come and buy me flowers. Like, if you do, it needs to be a bouquet bigger than what I buy myself, right? Like, I need to see 100 million dozen roses or sunflowers all in my apartment when I get home. Like, instead of the little 3 Johns that I buy for myself. I like the bar is set, right? You also allow for people to check themselves, right? These are your romantic relationships, your friendships, your family, all of it, right? You allow people to really look at themselves and just be like, well, wow, like, I need to level up. Like, I need to do better with myself. I need to do something different. Or maybe I should try loving myself a little more, right? The dating you process shouldn't stop either once you get into a relationship. Um, it's really all about, like, do you see yourself as lonely, or do you see yourself as just alone? Because it's two different things. It's two different feelings, and it's two different experiences. It's literally two different experiences. Um, People like to tell you that choosing you is selfish, and it's not. It's not at all. Like, I rather do a whole bunch of stuff by myself. So, like, the Costa Rica trip I just went on, I got my yin yoga teaching certification. Um, my homegirl came with me. This is the first trip I've ever taken with somebody that wasn't family, both and out the country. Like, this is the first trip I've went on with somebody that wasn't family, and it was out the country, not both and it was out the country. And, like, our vibe is dope. Like, our vibe is really, really dope. And I told her about the training because she's a yin, like, she takes yin yoga classes. So I figured, oh, she doesn't need a 200 hour to be able to go. Like, she can go and just learn to deepen her practice, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put it out there. If she wants to go, we can go. If she doesn't, cool, I'm still going to go. So we went, and let me tell you, I had an amazing time. An amazing time. Like, this was the first time, like, we've hung out for, like, my birthday. We've done yoga classes together. All that stuff. But this was like, we voice note each other every single day, like, all that. We're both very, very busy, and we have this really good understanding of, we don't have to talk every day. And once I realized that, I was like, this is my kind of friend. This is my kind of person. Like, I don't have time to sit here and talk every single day. I got other stuff to do. But that doesn't mean I don't love you. I've had friends where it was like, you don't love me because we can't talk every day. Ma'am, no, that is not the case. Like, I do love you. I also love myself and don't want to talk every day. Like, I like to spend time with myself. I also had my son with me and was working a full-time job and trying to, like, pop off on my business ventures. Like, it becomes a lot. And another part of me dating myself is understanding that I know what I'm called to do, and all of that work, like, requires like, my full attention. So I need people that, if we don't talk today, You're not going to be mad at me because I probably don't even have time to talk and probably don't have anything to talk about. Like, I'm not also going to talk just to talk. I might send a text and say, hey, just checking in, making sure you're good. Other than that, no, I don't want to talk every day. If we do talk every day, that's cool too. I don't want to I've just learned myself so well, and I've come to this space of really setting an expectation for what it is that I desire and deserve, right? My desires and what I deserve are not going to be in two different places, just like what I want and what I need are not going to be in two different places. So, the more I evolve, the more I'm learning about myself, the more understanding what kind of people I need and want in my life. And if I have 5 people that match my wants and needs as co-creators of this beautiful life that I'm creating for myself, that is peaceful and lovable and fun and successful and abundant, kudos. Like I only need a solid one. Like, that was actually a prayer, is that I had at least one solid friend, one solid friendship that was going to accept me for me and not put me in this space where I have to like shift myself, like change myself and my priorities to engage with them or to be their friend. I love me. I love to do stuff by myself, and I need the people in my life to understand that as well. Um, Dating you just opens up a world of discovery, of really tapping into the God you, right? What you like, what you don't like, what you're called to. Oh, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, people think that being alone is like being lonely, and being alone is like isolation and like you're in prison or something. No, like, when I'm by myself, I have the most clarity about what I'm supposed to be creating and what it's supposed to look like. Like, I'm able to tap in and dive into my inner being and my inner thoughts so much deeper, and really just sit with myself and really sit with God, right? And really listen and hear what promptings are being guided within me to do. I've had the experiences of being in relationships where I didn't have the space to work on my craft and really engage in my art and get those promptings. If I got them, I was like on a time limit and a time crunch because everybody was requiring something from me that I couldn't give them. Um, yeah, I just like when you're able to date yourself, it's also setting a new tone for the relationships that you're in, your with your spouse or with your children, with your friends, with your family. Um, Nobody has to understand anything about you. They do have to respect your journey and your choices and your decisions and be okay with that, whether they understand it or not. And there's times where I just don't answer the phone either, and I just need that space to be with me, and that's okay. Yeah, so dating you is probably the most important part of your awareness journey. I got air quotes. Um, because as you're taking off these clothes, right, you're relearning you, and you're building awareness around how you treat yourself and how that reflects in how you treat others. And you start setting a bar, right? You start releasing any codependency, and really get to see your needs and wants come into the same space. Your desires and just like all of those things just come into the same space and not have to choose, right? Because codependency is very unhealthy, and it can lead to a very toxic relationship and friendship, whether it's with a spouse, with a friend, with family. So when you are dating yourself and relearning yourself and building that awareness around yourself, you start to have better awareness of how you are in certain relationships and spaces, and you really get to dive into your calling and really listening to what is it that you love to do that just makes your heart yearn. Like if someone said, I'm gonna leave you in this room for a week and I want to see what you produce on your own, what is it that you would produce if given the space to just date yourself? What would that week look like? Right? What, like, even when you have the normal moods of a human, right? Within that week by yourself, what does that look like? What triggers come up? What thoughts come up? What do you do with those things? Right? What are you going to read? What are you going to paint? What are you going to draw? What are you going to watch? What are you going to eat? What are you going to create in the kitchen? What kind of music are you going to listen to? If someone said, I'm giving you a week in this apartment by yourself, and I want it, like, they're watching you to see just how you, like, who you are, right? After you've been doing all this healing work, what does that dating space look like for you?
Sounds
right? I want you all to keep loving you, relearning you, and listening to your body, right? When you begin this process of dating yourself and relearning you, your body will start to signal also what things no longer feel in alignment, what spaces no longer feel in alignment, right? Dating you is also protecting you from continuing to engage in those spaces that your body's just like, no, we don't want to go back there. We don't want to go back there, right? I want to thank all of you for your patience, because this was supposed to be out, but I had to listen to my body. I'm not going to have a podcast called The Voices of the Body and not allow my body to rest. It's been a hell of a summer, a lot of traveling, especially coming back home from Costa Rica. So I thank you all for listening to this episode, and I really invite you to love on you, give peace to yourself because you deserve it, and allow your divine self to be dated, right? We want to see who that person is. They're fabulous, they're handsome, they're amazing, they're creative, they're magical, they're probably a unicorn also, right? But they're awesome. Allow that person, that version of you, to show up for you, right? I love you all for free. Namaste.
Soundstripe. Soundstripe.